Fox News alert, a deadly shooting at an ICE facility in Dallas this morning. The FBI confirming 2 people were shot and the gunman taking his life afterward. The FBI also confirming they found unused bullet casings engraved with the phrase anti-ICE into it. No ICE officers were harmed. FBI Director Kash Patel says these politically motivated attacks are not a one-off, and the targeting of law enforcement officers has to end. Here's Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who spoke moments ago at the scene.
This needs to stop. Violence is wrong. Politically motivated violence is wrong. It was 2 weeks ago today that we saw a political assassination in Utah that tore the heart out of much of this country. This is the 3rd shooting in Texas directed at ICE or CBP. This must stop. Look, in America, we disagree. That's fine. That's the democratic process. But your political opponents are not Nazis. We need to learn to work together without demonizing each other, without attacking each other. Violence has no place. It is wrong. Policies, we can do so in the halls of Congress without demonizing each other, and especially without demonizing the men and women who every day put on a badge and go risk their lives to keep us safe.
The horrific pattern that we've been seeing play out, Kennedy, the same demonization of our president that has resulted in 2 attempted assassinations and potentially more that we don't know about, thwarted earlier, Charlie Kirk's assassination, and now these anti-ICE. I fear for the one that's successful. And it was successful for the families of those dead individuals right now. They may not have been ICE officers, but the target remains, and that's still a loss of life.
Yeah, and their lives are still precious. And that's a thing that we have lost sight of, is our humanity. And not everyone, because I think most people look around at this and they just ask themselves, how did we get here? Like, what am I supposed to tell my children? How am I going to comfort my kids so they feel safe going out into this world where there could be people among them who are seemingly normal on the surface, but then below the surface, they are being radicalized, in these small groups that Bill talked about. And, you get to a scary point where it feels like there is a great deal of instability, and you look around and you wonder, what's next? I don't want the next. And I understand why the White House isn't saying anything today, because a lot of people who knew Charlie Kirk, people who were moved by Charlie Kirk, people who had never seen a video of his until he was assassinated, they're still trying to process this. Like, it is too fresh. And, we look what happened in the aftermath of Luigi Mangione and the murder of the United Healthcare CEO. And, he was lionized essentially as a saint by some. And there are some very sick people who are deranged, they're mentally ill, they have been radicalized, they are narcissistic, and they look at the fallout from that and they say, that's what I want. That is not what I want. That is not what most people want. We don't want to live in a society like this, because that is not a difference of opinion. That is a murderous cult that does irreparable harm, and we have to figure out a way to stop it, because words are not violence, but right now words are not enough, and we have to do something else.